آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. يروي الإمام الترمذي بسند حسن عن أمير المؤمنين عمر بن الخطاب رضي الله عنه قال: أمرنا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أن نتصدق، فوافق ذلك مالا عندي، فقلت اليوم أسبق أبا بكر، فجئت بنصف مالي، فقال لي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: ما أبقيت لأهلك؟ فقلت مثله وأتى أبو بكر بكل ما عنده، فقال: يا أبا بكر ما أبقيت لأهلك؟ قال: أبقيت لهم الله ورسوله. فقلت: ما أسبقه إلى شيء أبدا. Tonight's hadith is found in the collection Imam al-Tirmidhi narrated to us by Amir al-Mu'mineen Umar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu anhu, where he says that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam amarana an natasaddaq, he told us to give sadaqah. And it just so happened that I had some extra wealth. So I decided that today was the day that I was going to beat Abu Bakr. Today was the day that I was going to do more than Abu Bakr. So I brought half of my wealth to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam asked, what did you leave for your family? So he said, mithlahu, I left them half of my wealth. And Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu anhu ardah, he would come with everything that he owned. And the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam would ask him the same question, what did you leave for your family? And he would say, أبقيت لهم الله ورسوله, that I left for them Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And when Umar radiallahu anhu saw this, he said, I will never be able to do more than Abu Bakr in anything. It's a very beautiful hadith and a very beautiful story. And it's a well-known story, but there are many beautiful lessons that we can learn from, which we will talk about very quickly inshallah. The first of which is the difference between a sacrifice and a transaction. Many people, when they give sadaqah, whether it's money or any other form of sadaqah, they do it and they subconsciously expect some kind of return. For example, a person gave $10 in sadaqah. They expect that money will come back to them, or something good will happen in their life because of this. And this is the wrong mindset to have. What Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu did here, it was not transactional. It was transformational. What he did not do it in order to expect something in return, or he did not calculate something that would be returned to him. But his mindset was, أبقيت لهم الله ورسوله, I left for them Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So the first lesson that we learn from this hadith is, when we give sadaqah, whether it's money or any other type of sadaqah, do we do it while we are counting, or do we do it completely for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and trusting in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? The second lesson that we can learn from this hadith is, like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, فَاسْتَبِقُوا الْخَيْرَاتِ, race to that which is good, race to do good deeds. And this hadith shows us that true competition and true, the true race is not in fame or wealth or status. It is in doing good deeds. You see, the real victory for Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu here was not how much he gave, but how present his heart was and how ready he was for the opportunity. And when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told him to give sadaqah, he came and he gave his entire wealth radiallahu anhu ardah. So the second lesson that we can take from this hadith is, whenever the opportunity to do good comes, take it. Whatever that good may be, whether it's giving sadaqah or helping someone or teaching someone or whatever it may be. When the opportunity for good comes, take it and do not hesitate. Be from those that race to do khair, those that race to do good, even when no one is watching. And that is the true race in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And finally, the last point that I'll touch on is, it is important to understand some context regarding this hadith. Yes, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu gave up his entire wealth that day. But it's important to also understand the context and the circumstances of the Sahaba. And this is where a deep understanding of the seerah and the biographies of each of the Sahaba it becomes very essential and very important. It's not smart that a person gives up their entire wealth, because if they give up their entire wealth, they become more in need than the people that they helped. But Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu was also a successful businessman. What he gave up today, he was likely to make up for the next day. And this, when you read stories like this of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu or other Sahaba, It's important that you understand their story, so you see the reason behind their action. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَلَا تَجْعَلْ يَدَكَ مَغْلُولَةً إِلَى عُنُقِكَ. Do not let your hand be tied to your neck, meaning you do not withhold, so you do not spend anything at all. But at the same time, وَلَا تَبْسُطْهَا كُلَّ الْبَسْطِ فَتَقْعُدَ مَلُومًا مَحْسُورًا. Do not open your hand, do not overspend. And so this balance when we give sadaqah is very important to remember. Yes, we all know the benefits of sadaqah, we all know the importance of sadaqah, we all know the beauty of sadaqah. And we all understand, but this balance is important. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لَن تَنَالُوا الْبِرَّ حَتَّى تُنْفِقُوا مِمَّا تُحِبُّونَ. That you will not attain righteousness until you give from that which you love. And a person is ordered to give from that which they love and to give from the beauty of their wealth. But at the same time, a person has to be smart about it, not give up everything, and then they become more in need than the people that they gave. So this is just some context regarding this hadith. I hope that was a benefit, inshallah. يروي الإمام الترمذي بسند حسن عن أمير المؤمنين عمر بن الخطاب رضي الله عنه قال: أمرنا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أن نتصدق فوافق ذلك مالا عندي فقلت اليوم أسبق أبا بكر فجئت بنصف مالي فقال لي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: ما أبقيت لأهلك؟ فقلت مثله. وأتى أبو بكر بكل ما عنده فقال: يا أبا بكر ما أبقيت لأهلك؟ قال: أبقيت لهم الله ورسوله. فقلت: لا أسبقه إلى شيء أبدا. صدق رسول الله صلى الله عليه